Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Hope you are all safe. I am Naveen Kumar. So based on my friends and colleagues request, today we will discuss about mass concreting. Mass concreting is a very common subject nowadays, and many people are facing challenges in different weather and different environment or geographical conditions. Unfortunately, friends, in India we don't have a dedicated IS code. We don't have. We have only 14598, which is 1999 edition, reaffirmed in 2004. That was specifically a temperature control in mass concrete for dams. So it was dedicated for dams. So the only readily available document, a standard specification or code we have is a ACI, American Concrete Institute. Out of that, there are three codes, ACI codes, which are applicable here. That is ACI 207, ACI 301 and ACI 116R. So let us start with this session, mass concrete. So what do you mean by mass concrete? Mass concrete, the definition of mass concrete as per ACI 116R and ACI 301 is nothing but any volume of the concrete which will lead the designer to think for controlling the temperature at the core, or the volume will be decided based on the core temperature. That volume or that size of the concrete will be called as a mass concrete. If you see this definition in the double quote on the sides, it doesn't mention any size, thickness or length. But parallelly, ACI 207 and I116R refers that ideal thickness of the concrete to be designed for mass concrete design shall be limited to 1 meter. That is, if you are going beyond 1 meter, you should design for mass concrete. Right? Now, when we say mass concrete design, is it so big rocket science? In earlier 1940s, there was no concept of mass concreting everywhere. The only concept of mass concreting available was for dams. Hence, the mass concreting for dams has started. Now, designing a mass concrete for dams has caused much easier because the temperature was kept as a focus as compared to the strength of the concrete. As the period gone, the periodical changes happened. People started designing big structures like bridges, thicker wall, retaining wall, mass foundations, rafts, pile caps. And when we started to do focusing on the strength, the many issues related to cracks and abnormal changes due to heat of hydration in the concrete. So the design for specific requirement has came in picture. So massive structures like dams, gravity dams, these are all resist the load primarily by their shape and the volume, the mass, right? So the basic concrete strength will not be required. Basic concrete strength will not be required here. But nowadays what we are telling is like there are many metro column piers, pile caps are all coming. So definitely strength is also having a big equal matter, and hence ACI has developed this code. So let us see what does this code says in further. So as I mentioned, the first question comes in our mind is how large the mass concrete means. What is the volume can be taken as a considered as a large or a mass of mass concreting. So as per ACI, as I mentioned earlier, 1 meter deep or 1 meter thickness can be considered as a ideal mass concrete design. If you are going beyond 3 feet, that is 0.9 meter to 1 meter, one has to design for mass concrete. The same way, the length will vary from 5 feet to 25 feet or furthermore based on the width as well as design intent. Now when we say that 25 feet or more or 5 feet or 3 feet wide or 3 feet height, the first things which comes in our mind is bridge pier. Then comes shaft foundations or wide foundations, raft foundations, mat slab, girders, footings and thicker slabs. Yes, so this some or the other way we can consider it for mass concreting. Next question comes in our mind is how important is the temperature? Now as per study, the concrete tends to face the heat of hydration in the cement when it comes in a contact with water. This is a very basic information which I am giving. Whenever the heat of hydration releases, the concrete starts warming, getting warm, and the temperature often goes, sometimes it goes beyond around 70 degrees or 71 degrees, and there the requirement of engineering control will come in picture. So what does ACI 301 says here? The maximum temperature at the core or a concrete shall not exceed 160 degree Fahrenheit, that is 71.1 degree centigrade during curing. That means the temperature should be controlled of the concrete till the deshuttering and curing period, early curing periods. Second condition or suggestions or guidelines by ACI 301 is the difference of temperature between surface and the core shall not be more than 2 to 3 degrees centigrade, that is around 35 Fahrenheit. Why this? What ACI believes or what the scientific reason behind this is, if the temperature variation between surface and the core increases, there are chances of getting internal cracks or micro cracks which will periodically propagate towards the surface. That is why ACI is focusing on controlling the temperature at the core, because surface temperature can be controlled by using many norms like early curing with chilled or cold water, avoiding sunlight facing directly on the slab or concrete surface, avoiding wind blow so that the surface hardening or drying will be avoided, fogging, putting a hessian cloth, wet hessian cloth on the concrete. There are many things which you can control on the surface, but the question comes is how to control the temperature at the core. So let us see how we control the temperature at core during concreting and after concreting. Friends, when we say the core in the sense below the reinforcement top mat or a central portion of the concrete volume. That means when you say core, that is a mid portion or early portion of the concrete pour sequence. There is an instrument called thermocouple which will have a sensor, and nowadays the technology is so advanced that these thermocouples are totally Android or app based, which can be controlled or monitored over mobile and even noted or documented through mobile. Let us not go in technology of thermocouple. Thermocouple is an instrument which will help, which will have multiple sensors and a monitoring device or output device, and the sensors will be put inside the raft. It will reach to the core. Now, as the concrete progresses, we will start monitoring the temperature variations in the concrete, and that will indicate the ongoing temperature on your monitor or your control panel or display board. There is another arrangement which is generally planned, which you can see somewhere in the box here in the pic, that many areas the pipes will be laid in the core. As the temperature starts heating or warming up, the cold water will be passed through those pipes and it will try to maintain the temperature for longer period. The water chilled water circulation, it will be done to keep the core in the controlled way, because we have to maintain the difference between surface and the core as well. Then once the curing period overs, the purpose is solved, these pipes will be grouted with pressure grouts and plugged. That's a different case. The next question comes is, what if the concrete temperature itself high, before like production concrete temperature? So for that we have to use a basic concrete temperature control methods, that is cooling the aggregates, using the ice in the concrete, right, and reducing the traveling time of concrete trucks. Pouring time should be reduced. You can use multiple pouring points in case of big rafts. These are all the basic common methods we can use for controlling the wet concrete or a concrete temperature during pour. Delayed Entringite formation, DEF. So what is the DEF? DEF is a directly material related issue that can lead to severe cracking. That is, when an internal concrete temperature gets high, when I use this word high, that means I am talking about 71 degrees centigrade and above. When the concrete reaches there, the material inside the core or the surrounding aggregates and all, it starts to crack due to heat, and the crack will start propagating towards the surface, which is more dangerous. So the maximum internal temperature shall not be allowed more than 158 degree Fahrenheit, that is 70 degrees, to 160 degree Fahrenheit, that is 71.1 degrees centigrade, just because if the temperature increases, the DEF also increases. And temperature difference also causes many time issue. That is, the moment the temperature difference between core and surface increases, the tensile stresses will be tensile stresses will get generated, And if the stresses are greater than the concrete strength, the crack will start occurring and leads towards the surface. Now, these cracks can be severe, or sometimes these cracks will be present in the core, and if anything goes wrong with the compression member or a load or lateral load or whatever kind of deflection, this crack will be the weakest point of the structure, which is again a more dangerous issue. And as far as possible, to maintain the difference between surface as well as the core, which is as I mentioned 2 to 3 degree should be the difference between that temperature and this temperature. The basic concrete, wet concrete temperature must be controlled within 32 to 35 degree temperature. It should be lesser than 32, and the lesser the better. I hope I am very much clear in this, that lesser temperature of the wet concrete will lead for less hydration limit in the core. The last challenge with our friends or with our project lead QC people is cold joint. ACI does not recommend any kind of cold joint to be planned in mass concrete. The more the cold joint, the weaker the structure. That is what the bottom line ACI says in this. We should be very careful that we should avoid the cold joint. Now we have many challenges, like many times the breakdown happens, the pump breakdowns, the plant breakdowns, or sometimes the delay in pouring due to workman issues. There are many things which are planned. There are delay in workman absence or some issues. There are many things which will cause the delay or a pause in the concrete pouring. So for that, as I mentioned in earlier videos, pour plan. The pour plan should be very much ready at least 72 hours before the concrete planned. Second thing, any kind of forcible cold joint has to be noted in the diagram or a drawing. The exact location of the cold joint should be noted by the engineer, so that in case something happens in the future or designer asks for cold joint location for analyzing the structure defects or redesigning the structure, it should be easy to produce in front of designer. Third thing is giving a proper justification using bonding agents. Give the proper respect to the cold joint and try to merge the cold joint and try to make it monolithic as much as possible. And if you still can't avoid it, go for the designer, ask for the modification in the drawing considering the forcible cold joint which has turned down into construction joint. Friends, at the last, what is our focus on mass concrete is control the temperature. The more you focus on controlling the temperature, better quality you can expect it, right? During this monitoring the temperature control, what do we understand? We come to know many characteristics of the concrete. For example, we will come to know that what kind of material if I use, what kind of cement, what is the combination when I mix it, what temperature I am getting it. That is the first basic element we will understand in the concrete. Second thing is we can investigate the interaction, that if vehicle temperature was this, core temperature was this, surface temperature was this, how the thermal interaction behaves in the concrete. Uniformity you can track because you are maintaining the concrete temperature, you are maintaining the laying temperature, you are monitoring the concrete temperature inside the core, so the uniformity can be maintained toward for entire concrete pour. As you are using thermocouples, you are tracking the hydration happening in the concrete, and it will be a lessons learnt for your future mass concretes, whatever it is planned. And last but not the least, the maturity period you can calculate of the concrete by using this monitor of temperature. So if you are using it on 2 or 3 different projects or elements, you can understand that what is the grade, what is the temperature was maintained, so what was the maturity of the concrete happened. You can use the statistical data to analyze for the further project, which can be used as a learning lessons for the project. So friends, after entire this discussion, I tried to cover a very basic knowledge about mass concreting in the projects. Entire discussion, again we shall not miss the basic element of formwork, leak proof formwork, proper bonding agent, proper demolding agent on the formwork, or formwork removal agent on the formwork should be checked. Proper all seals, all the leakage areas should be sealed, tie rod should be checked, reinforcement should be checked. These are all the basic checklist will still apply good here. Now, what do we conclude on this today's topic is minimizing the risk of temperature related changes in the concrete is a fundamental part of every mass placement project. Now, there are 2 major temperature related issues to be monitored. One is maximum internal pressure and another one is temperature difference. I am just repeating my words which are mentioned as a ACI 301. That is, one is internal temperature should not exceed 71.1 degrees centigrade, and the difference between the core and the surface temperature shall not be more than 2 to 3 degrees centigrade. That is 35 degree Fahrenheit. Furthermore, the thermal control plan has to be established along with the pour plan they are giving, and it should describe the temperature monitoring procedure, what kind of thermocouples, what is the technology, what is the calibration, what is the average temperature expected to be received, and what is the contractor is intended to follow the procedure. All these things should be gathered and approved by the contractor and the client before starting the pour. At least in my practice, we are recommending 72 hours because we need enough time to understand, to negotiate, to discuss and conclude the pour plan. This is what I tried to cover in today's session. I hope you people like it. I understand the pressure, the atmospheric pressure what we civil engineers are facing in nowadays. Try to be safe, because safer is always better for the future rather than suffering. So safer is always better than suffer, right? So please like, please subscribe my channel. Whatever your issues, if something I missed out, please do mention in the comment box below. I'll definitely try to answer your queries, and questions and suggestions are welcome. We'll meet you soon in the next session. Take care, be safe, bye.